Hello friends and welcome back to my channel for another episode of Stamp With Me. As always with this series, I am doing a bit of stamping today and you can check out all of the other wonderful participants linked down below because there's some awesome projects as always. If you guys have not seen all the episodes on my channel, I'll have my playlist linked down below so you guys can check out a ton more stamping inspiration. Today is a very special layout because I am putting 5 photos on one layout and here's where I'm going to trim them all down to be 4x4, one of my favorite sizes to work with for photos, and really just helps cut them down to be a size that's usable on one 12x12 spread. And I'm also using my How to Kill a Kit with Style for the month of August. If you guys haven't seen that, I'll have that playlist linked down below as well so you can check out the kit share and then the layouts I've made so far with it. But it's this beautiful Pink Fresh Studio Joyful Day paper with this pink and yellow floral design on the back. It almost looks like a tile pattern and I just really love it. And it's really cool because it's 12x12 and because it's a busier pattern. I go for some simpler embellishments actually, and with that I make some of my own, including pulling out this neat and tangled stamp set with this adorable little cat, and there's a little banner that says practically perfect, to get it perfect because it's cat, and I'm making a little banner out of that, just stamping it on some white cardstock. Everybody's got it, perfect for your stamping, but if you want to add some extra color, colored cardstock's another great way to add some. So here I have my photos in place. I have 3 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Trying to debate if that's the order I want them in. They're all from the same day, and this is when the cats were early on adopted. I think this was 6 days after they were adopted, so this is Poppy getting used to the living room at the time, and she's just rolling around, and it's just so precious. And here's where I start looking through the 6x6 paper pad from that collection to see if I want anything to layer under my photos. But then I decide, why not just pull in more cardstock? I think I could use some more pink. So I went through my pinks and found one that matched. I need a peachier color, or did I want a pinker color? I ended up going with this one. If I knew where my cardstock was from, I would tell you. I've bought it from a variety of places, including Michael's, Joann's, the list goes on and on. I do think this one's from Joann's, but that's just a guess. I decided to take that pink cardstock and mat the top 3 photos with it, and there I just wrote down the date before I would forget. And since I'm matting these all in the same color, yes, I could have matted them straight, but I know I wanted them to overlap quite a bit. So you'll see me spacing them out here to trim out individually. However, depending on how you want your layout, maybe just cut a strip of cardstock all the way across, and that's how you leave it, and then just put the photos on a slight slant if that's what you wish, or put them straight on. I like to do something that's a little bit more fun, especially when I have fun themed photos like these ones. And at this point I've already figured out my title based off of nothing other than the photos. I really want to title this Roly Poly Poppy because that's her name, and she was rolling on the floor, which is just precious. So then for the title, I'm going to have to figure out what font I want to use, but I do plan on putting it in that empty space on the bottom section of photos. But before that, I like to jump around, so we moved on to the ephemera that goes with this paper pad, and I pull out all the pieces that I like. Now to do this helps, just a quick sort can really help you eliminate the process of auditioning embellishments if you just quick sort them at the start, and then you just work with what you do like on first impressions. It'll help narrow down the playing field for options for your layout. If you're someone who struggles with too many options, that's a great way to pick through them quickly, if you will. So here I'm trimming them together, well, trimming them apart because they're on the same paper, but these are simply matted on white cardstock because I wanted it to be a little bit different, and I actually end up switching the order and the placement for those two. There was more white space on the left photo, so I covered it up with the right photo a bit more. And here's where I struggle with what I want to do with more embellishments, with more ephemera, stickers, etc. Just trying to figure out what to fill the space with. At this point, I'm just pulling out things I like. So I'm pulling out some stickers from this Heidi Swap sticker set. I have a sticker pulled out from the Typecast We Are Memory Keeper set. I have this alphabet that's in my kit. I have another stamp set I want to use in order to feature with Stamp With Me. But then I decide, you know what, committing to the photos is the first step before I start embellishing. So here's where I start to do that. I put them a little bit too close together there. And yes, some of the photo gets covered up. I could have trimmed them differently, but I really like that they're all the same size to start. And I do leave that awkward spacing in the middle. I just think it's a nice place for the eye to rest, and I like that it's almost 2 layers, and I do like the weird spot in the middle. I know some people would consider that trapped space, but I think it looks okay. And here I'm starting this ephemera cluster at the top of these photos, and it's the same exact emblem that's on the background, just put and die cut out, so it's this beautiful floral shape. And then I layer the cute Practically Perfect sentiment on top of that. Then I do another layer on top of my photos, just a little cluster with a bunch of different pieces. So first I pull out this Heidi Swapp label and stamp one of these Heidi Swapp stamps on it. It says XOXO, because I do love her. And I do plan on putting that with the Remember This journaling spot from We Are Memory Keepers, and kind of going for this high contrast with all this black stamping. I also bring in a couple of these Heidi Swapp phrase stickers that are from the sticker sheet I showed you earlier. And then I have the LA Studio stickers that will, well, one are from my kit and two will function well for a title. And as a base for my title, I often go for doilies, and this one works really, really well. It's originally from a Valentine's Day set, so if you guys haven't tried looking during the holiday seasons, they often offer staple embellishments like rhinestones and gemstones and enamel dots, as well as things like doilies and tags, and it's a great time to stock up on some of those staple colors. Red, pink, and white, of course, for Valentine's Day. You can also find gold and the silver and greens and other colors during the Christmas and holiday season. So always a good time to look during the holidays. And I know this would probably work better with a dark contrast like I was going for in the embellishment clusters, but I end up going with the gray, and I think it looks really soft and sweet. And I did have to look up how to spell roly-poly because there's different ways to spell it, but I like the ROLYPOLY version, but that's probably just a personal preference. And here's where I end up putting the rest of my title on this little tag, which has a little bit of gold foil on it, which I'm glad I brought in because there's gold foil in the top left as well as on the phrase stickers that I end up using. So just little touches of gold can be a long way in terms of just adding a touch of glimmer and glitz here and there. So here's where I glue down the rest of it. Now this will need extra adhesive underneath it afterwards. I just tend to do that off of camera. So here I go back in for a little bit more stamping, just this arrow to add again some more contrast, and that's from the Heidi Swapp stamp set as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the bit of stamping I had here. The last piece I'm going to stamp is this phrase set that says hello with a little blank under it, and I end up putting something there which you'll see in a little bit during my finishing touches. So now that those stamps are in place, I will continue to embellish with the couple of Heidi Swapp stickers I had pulled out just because I really, really like the look of them. And so I put one in the bottom right, and then I put that little heart there too. And then we pull out the beautiful, beautiful Maggie Holmes sticker book, and I end up pulling in these yellow butterflies. Now they're not an exact match of yellow that's in the background paper, and I know it's really hard to tell, but I think it still really, really works because of the little bit of yellow that's there. It's a nice pop. My cat is not yellow, but she does have orange on her, so that's sort of an ode to her orange tones. And then I add in a couple more phrase stickers here and there, including one in that blank. So it says hello happy because I put that there. And then a little deer on the right hand side. We put a bow on the bouquet. It just all comes together so, so well. Even this little banner, just a little something to add a little bit more glitz and gold. But since we're done with the sticker book now, we do need a finishing touch. And I'm not super happy with what's left of my enamel dots. You know, I have a bunch of colors that I don't tend to use, but I do end up finding this, again, Valentine's Day themed set of enamel dots. And I use the white and the pink to add a little bit of dimension here and there. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stamping and the process. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. But here are some close-ups. Be sure to check out everyone else's processes linked down below. You never want to miss out on a chance to learn something new about stamping. If you did enjoy, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. A lot of this will need extra glue, so I got to go do that off camera. But I do hope you enjoyed, and you can check out all of the links down below, including educational resources for supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys!